Hello everyone, this is Darsonovi here. It's been a while since I reviewed the comics in the Clone Wars timeline. Shit, there's so many stories that I'm not even close to being done. This time I'm returning to the Republic comics, which so far have been amazing. I mean, I haven't been disappointed so far in the Clone Wars era comics in this, comic line. Now, the story I'm going to review this time is called A Show of Force, which is another Mace Windu centric story. Now, Mace Windu gets a lot of stories in this era. I'm surprised he doesn't get more, honestly, considering how popular he is as a character. Um, what do I think of this story? Well, the general premise of this, to talk about what the story is about, is the Bounty Hunters Guild has hired a hit-on Jedi, and it's a three-part story arc which involves Mace Windu getting the guild to cease their operations. Of course, it reveals towards the end of this arc, spoilers, that Quinlan Vos has fallen completely to the dark side. And yeah, it's to sum up the story. Now, the writing is good as always, and the character development, is really good. I mean, one thing I really love about the expanded universe is it takes characters we don't give a two shits about and actually gives them far more depth. Because Mace Windu, if you've only seen the movies, I brought this up in my Shatterpoint review. He's not that interesting, but they take this character in a few comics, Shatterpoint, and this story arc. It just shows more and more layers of this character. Mace Windu is a pretty damn, good character. I think is one of the best written characters in this era. There's so much to this character that, unfortunately, a lot of people, missed out on because most people, unfortunately, don't read books or comics. The effects of Shatterpoint still linger, on Mace Windu, the consequences of that novel. This is at a point where, unlike the new canon, there was consequences what happened in various novels. Despite what the haters of the expanded universe want to tell you, there was continuity, and very strong continuity, with the expanded universe. This, referenced, Shatterpoint. And Mace Windu is still haunted about what happened to his Padawan at that, story. And I just love how this is a continuation of Mace Windu's, character arc, that was pretty much started with the older Star Wars Republic. This comic just makes the Star Wars universe feel more alive, honestly. It's like a living organism. And as for the art, well, what is there to say? The art is as good as always, and so is the writing. John Ostrander does an amazing job, with the writing. And the artist who does these comics does a really good job with these illustrations. I'm just going to find a really good panel, which is one of my favorites. This image here is really good. So if you want a better image, you can find these online. If you haven't checked out this series yet, you should. This is a pretty good story arc, but it's kind of everything after the Battle of Jabin kind of feels like a step down, but it's kind of hard to actually, when you get to one of the best storylines in Star Wars comics, it's kind of hard not to have everything feel like a step down. It's a good story. I give it a classic rating. It's definitely worth checking out. This is Darcinovia, over and out. May the Force be with you. Next time, we'll continue to cover more comics and this volume that I own. And the next one will be Forever Young. Later, guys.